Hey guys, Ellen Prince here, back with the glorious expedition of Outer Wilds. This last time, we have found and officially started Echoes of the Eye. Good shit. I will be fascinated to see what all is on the Stranger, I think it's called. We also found, like, a coffin, or Iron Maiden of some variety just trapped in a... what was a formerly sunken thing. And be interested to see how that goes. I've got a certain amount of time that I am able to record today because I am also doing my live stream as well. So we'll deal with that later, but you all know the drill at this point. Stuff down below, do with it as you see fit. Hope you guys stick around for the ride, and yeah, let's start the time loop. And we're awake. You all know what that means. Sprint over here, and now we jet ourselves away. Oh hey, it's a probe. Up here, grab the suit. Oh cool, this showed up here. Mark location on the HUD just so we can autopilot to there and go from here. Yep. Break orbit, which I think we have. Now we engage the autopilot. What else? Right, there was also the tower, which had the whatchamacallit. It's so weird flying to something that doesn't exist. Nope. God damn it, let me in to the stupid ship. Right. There we are. But it's interesting that we've got the tower that we need to go to. There's the tower out back that needs to be looked at. I also was not aware that this handy elevator existed before last time. Granted, I should fucking hope not, because otherwise that would mean I know stuff about the game that I'm not disclosing. But you all know what I mean. We discovered it late in the run. But yeah, what do we got? We got the tower, which is something I do want to check out. But where is it? Yep, follow the chain down. This is the tomb that I mentioned. And yep, we can just go up and under. And here we are. Not entirely sure what these symbols mean, but they certainly mean something. I believe that that is the it's like the signal reader that he, and again I'm just gonna the owl guy. The owl guy who saw the glory of, you know, whatever signal called him here via the flickering flames, and then his mouth opened up from his chin because these creatures are an abomination unto all things holy, and their mouth is here in terms of facial structure. turn the light off. But he opened up his mouth and was like, "Holy shit, lads, we fucking found it." And then all the lads were like, "Holy shit, man, you found it." And then, you know, it all went from there, and then chasing the signal of the eye. It's like, wait a fucking minute. That doesn't exist. And I'm double checking that audio and everything is working. It is. Cool. But yeah, you've got all of that, and they're like, "Holy shit, lads, it's working," and, you know, we move on from there. Damn, is the current really strong enough that it's not letting us go through? How about if we try over the lantern? There's a working lantern here. If we use this, we should be able to have that and make the next stage of our pilgrimage. Don't know what we're pilgriming to, but by God, we're pilgriming. Up. Now, working lantern. Where's the working lantern? Something tells me we might not be able to brute force this, because let's find out how many combinations there are. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll start at half moon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so it's 9 by 5. That's... I don't know how to do that off the top of my head. It's like, you what, just multiply it by that? So there's, at minimum, 45 different combinations that we would have to go through. Which is a little bit more than I am willing to try and brute force. I'm willing to try and brute force some stuff, but that is not one of it. Gonna keep... Oh boy. Hello. That's great. Put away. Cool, that's still active. Gonna get to there, and then try and get to the longhouse. Should be able to get us what we need. Cool. Up here. And it can drop us off on the other side. That is brilliant. Yes. Dash to the longhouse. And then we also need to try and get to the pillar. Yeah, I love the way that they're doing the iron bracing. It is so cool. God damn it. Cool. Push the raft. Yep. Right. Get to the dock. Or beach ourselves. I guess beaching ourselves is an option. Is this... Ow. God fucking damn it. So, there were lanterns here already. I definitely knew that and was just testing you guys to see if you were aware of that. So, I don't need to keep that out anymore. Now, with this, we can just pop it in there. And if we go up here, look around, this is the one we want to see. Okay, so this is the first thing. Burnt slide, burnt slide, burnt slide. That's the pillar being closed with Owlman. Using magic to entomb him, or not magic, tech. So we need to douse the fire at that one post. Good to know. Let's double check the second slide reel, see if that has anything of note for us. Okay, this one is the story of their journey. If we go here, yep, their planet. I'll get a photograph of that. Yeah, the eye of the universe gravitated out towards them, where they receive this man, and I think that's the heliograph or whatever. It activates, he sees it, he recognizes it as a signal, his mouth opens, he goes, "Holy shit, lads, we found it!" And then a whole bunch of the other folk come. I really like the, for lack of a better term, poncho. And they're all like, "Praise the fucking sun." They make that, and they fly over to, from neighboring universe to our universe. Their sun's more red. I wonder if theirs was just about to detonate, and that's why they were searching. Right, they fly, try to find it, and using a context clues, I don't think they do find it. Just, I might be using context clues here, but I don't think they find it. Right, from here, need to go further down, which means there. Swap to that. Push the raft out. And drift along our merry way. The, underwater thing there is high on my to explore list. Just because. But keep going. Man, these rapids sure are rapping. Yep, from here, and then we just need to get to that light source. I said get to the light source, you dimwit. Yep. There we go. How's the dam looking? Okay, not great. But if we hurry, we should be able to make it. Emphasis on hurry. Damn it, and they've got lanterns in here too. I should have figured that we'd be able to manipulate them, but that's on me for not thinking of that. Nope. Is it this one that I want? It's not on the bottom floor. Is it on the upper floor? Okay, yeah, so there's the hidden path under. Grab that for shits and giggles. Swap to here and become mildly peeved that I get dragged under. Right, land here. Does this have... Yes, it does have another set of slide decks. Why have you decided to not work? Why do you do this to me? I will be mildly peeved if I have to do this on a second run. I know, looks like, for whatever reason, even though I didn't submerge it in water, it shorted it out. Oh. Okay, so we need to go around the base. Here we are. Yep. And follow this up. This does pose me more questions as to the subterranean, or not subterranean, semi-aquatic or not nature of the owl folk. Like, what's their biology? Okay, stairway going up either way. Over here, what do we got? It's a long, dark hallway. How, delightful. Ship log updated. Slide reel. Yep, that, looks about right. I'll grab the slide deck just in case. You know, we get a lantern and can use it. Alright, up to the top. What do we got? So, does that run electricity to the prison? That goes to whatever the blazes that building is. That tower. And then that longhouse of sorts. Noted, noted. I guess we check out that building. Okay, there's a ship. And the marvelous thing, we've got the fuel packs here. And by fuel packs, I mean the flamethrowers that they use to torch this dude's house. So I'm gonna turn the light off and land, and that's the direction we need to go. Actually, no, it's not. That's not the direction we can go. I suppose we just gotta meander over this way. The change in music is really interesting. Does pose to me the question, what would now my music sound like? You know? Because, like, to some extent, every culture has music. You know, it came free with your sentience, dipshit. You know, obviously, there's outliers. I'm doing a gross generalization here. But, by and large, most, if not all, people enjoy music. That's actually an interesting question. Is there any culture that doesn't have like a musical tradition? I'll have to look that up on my own time. Or, engagement bait. We all know that, you know, no culture has a complete lack of music tradition. Now, anyone who thinks otherwise is downright silly. You guys can go into the comments and correct me that, actually, I don't fucking know, Chippewa lacked music tradition as we think of it in the modern world or some shit. Have I successfully baited you into responding to me? Please respond. But, you know, I'd be fascinated to see, like, what all they would have for a musical tradition. Because again, like, as far as I'm aware, pretty much every culture has one. And, like, would it be more, for lack of a better term, scientific and structured? Or... oh, world's ending. World's ending, folks. Please be sure to collect your belongings on the way out. You will find everything stored either above you in the overhead compartment or under your seat. If you checked a bag with us, please swing by the gate to collect them, and we hope you enjoyed your stay on Harthian Airlines, where the world is consistently blowing up and dying. Au revoir. You know, so long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu. Au revoir, au revoir, arvar. Sure. Arvar, and hasta luego. Wale. Mate, I can't throw out... Ooh, new area. Damn it. I can't throw out many more ways to say goodbye. Just blow up the sun already. That lowers from there. Yes, I know exactly what that means. Also, when's the explosion gonna come and take me? Like, I'm waiting. There we go. The ship has been demolished. So long, farewell, so on and so forth. Roll the next death. Yeah, we'll have to double check what the thing says. And by thing, I mean the sign. Wait. So we know what happened to the Naomai. They had their mass extinction event. But what happened to the what happened to the actual members of the species for the owl folk? That's not something I thought about dealing with. We'll go to the Hidden Gorge. That's our port of call. But what happened to the rest of them? Again, assuming that we have a surviving member of the species locked up in that coffin. Huh. That's an interesting one. And again, we fly towards a cloaked structure, and then it comes out of cloaking. So, I think I might have damaged some things. You know, I damaged some things. Is this cool? This has the elevator. No, this doesn't have the elevator. Also, could you guys have found a more light-absorbing material than what you did? Seriously, how did you find something that just Vanta blacks its way through every bit of light? I get that you've got, like, highly photosensitive eyes, but bloody hell, man. Bloody hell. Sort yourself out. Up. Hidden Gorge, I think, is our port of call. Just because with that... Where is it? It's over there. So all we need to do... Actually, first we can get... the second set of slides read. get the second set of slides read and use that to fill out our understanding a little more. Get exposized. Is that one of the tenses of exposition? Like, you are being exposized? I'm sure somebody with a degree in creative writing or whatever can tell me, no, you fucking idiot. Exposized isn't a word. But it's a word if I say it is. Yeah, so we need to get all the way to the left side after that. Over here. I really do wonder some of the more... We'll check out that building if for no other reason than because it's there. I do wonder what all the actual culture looks like. Signal scope, photo mode, and move the camera down. Recording me. Okay, so that goes all the way there. Interesting. So they got hit by the ghost matter outbreak as well. That's a question. Is ghost matter naturally occurring, or was it just all trapped inside of that thing and just kind of get ignored? By everything else? Does it have a natural creation? Alright, we need a lantern for this. Swap to this just so we can jettison ourselves across the river. Up. Yeah, over there. Should be where all of the lanterns are. Yep. How many lanterns do you want? 'Cause, got fucking all of them. So, what do you want me to do with that? I will note it for future expeditions. Oh, that's the flight system coming online. Interesting. So that, like I said, that is the flight system coming online for reasons unknown to me, at the very least. Interesting. Over here. Over here. We'll navigate to the zip line and then use this to view the slide deck. Come on. Come on. And up. I just need to remember what building they're in. That's a school building, I think. So, up and around. I am fine with the burning fuel here because we can just get some again right quick. Down. This is not the building I thought it was. You know, that's hinting at the path under. Should probably check out the main floor of that building as well. We'll circle back to that one. Table that discussion for now. Go here, around, grab. Okay, this is another bit of their story, creation or otherwise. So this is about the eye specifically. They reach the eye, scan it. Interesting. So they see that the eye is gonna fucking detonate, consume us all, and turn us to dust. He gets horrified and breaks down. Do they have, like, normal fucking teeth? It looks like they have normal fucking teeth. Mobius games, please don't. So this is why they get mad and torch. That could be the church of the star, or the church of the eye. And then they drift here and go silent. Interesting. Really interesting. So why did the eye, Thanos snap him? So this is part of the second puzzle. Or the second mark. I'm assuming it's a puzzle. Yeah, so here he is. Got that. Marks it with the second stone. So we need to put out the lights. That is the read I am getting from this. We need to turn out the lights, and that'll progress us. Interesting. Very, very interesting. 50% fuel remaining, that's fine. And do you guys know why that's fine? We can wander back. But I hope all of you are having a good week. I've been really enjoying doing these. And just trying to figure out what all's going on for our feathered friends. And to be honest, I'm not sure even they know what's going on to them, because they just straight up got obliterated by the eye. At the very least, that's the read that I got from the situation. Not sure how correct it is. But to me, it very much read like they just, you know, boom, got disappeared by it. Yeah, we'll see if we learn anything in the hidden secret gorge village. Cool, we've caught the rapids here. aim for the center line. Thought for a moment that was a cave. Cool. Got caught. Seriously, what sort of creature are these? Are they semi-aquatic, amphibious, terrestrial? Obviously, they've got like some nocturnal, or at least low light properties, for lack of a better term. But not completely low light, because stuff like this is very well lit, but it seems like they don't necessarily need. Yes. I don't know what the fuck that says. Come on. I would love for the AC to turn on, because I am sweating a little right now, and it is not enjoyable. Fuck you. And by sweating a little, I mean sweating a lot. Now, is that the sound of breakage? Yep, that's the sound of breakage. Oh boy. We gotta move quick. Here's the additional heliograph. Exterior door. How much is this gonna destroy this area? Okay, it just got some bridges. I'm fine with that. We can work around there being less bridges. Seriously, like, what? We've got one of the flame areas. We set it down, equip that, photos as we move. Yeah, remember to move, ow. Remember to move the camera down, me. So that we can actually get a good shot. And we end up here. What is here? Boom. Secondary Church of the Star, it seems. This one wasn't nearly as destroyed. Okay, we got that. Don't know how to interact with that, but we sure as shit got it. Neck is so fucking stiff. And I could not tell you why. Got the lantern here. Oh shit, that's where that is. Which means over here, you've got the focus dial. Want to see if that has any functional use. Because it obviously does, and I have yet to find it. The obvious answer is there is no use. It is a, what's the joke? An object used for fertility rituals? Yeah, this was an object used for fertility rituals. Don't like the implications of that. What do we got here? Boat. Door from the other side. The upper floor to that. Interesting. We have to get through that door one way or another. Did not want to drop down, but guess we're heading into the drink. Get on the boat. Cool, we're on the boat. What is the focus artifact for? Let's head by the submersible, see if they've got a way for us to engage with the starfish spreader. Well, good to know fire is still hot. That does not change even if we're holding a funky little artifact. Granted, you say, Sven, why would it change? That sounds like a stupid idea for a all things considered fairly grounded game. To which I say, shut up, you stinky doo-doo head. That's not important right now. And I also say, where the hell is my raft? That is a thing I am saying right now. Ow. Okay, I know that tracks as a death. That tracks as a death. It is. Rough. We'll have to figure out what all is being said. Burn slide reel, sealed vault, abandoned temple. Okay, yeah, so that does mean that that is a temple. Sealed vault, cinder isles, glowing chains appear. Island tower, yeah, we'll touch on the island tower first this time. Should be the way to go. Huh. You know, we'll have to figure out what the fuck is going on here. Because there is a lot to muddle through. Hey, we didn't break anything this time. I would call that a marked improvement. Is it a marked improvement or a market improvement? It might be a marked improvement, though that doesn't sound nearly as fun and fantastical. Though who is looking for fun and whimsy in their bits of language. I mean, I am, obviously. But... We are amusing with questions rarely thought of here. That is exactly why you hang out. And it won't... Seriously, what is the reasoning behind our dear friend's imprisonment? And by dear friend, I mean, you know, whoever is in that cage, because... Well, they're alive, and that is currently one step above anyone else for their species, which means they are by far the friendliest person of their ilk. Kind of like how Solanum is the friendliest person of her species. Again, not saying much because they are the species, but by far the friendliest. Though, by that metric, they all are also the rudest, most awful piece of shit in their species you have ever experienced, so... It all depends on how you look at things. So, be kind to people. You never know if you might become the sole surviving member of your intergalactic species. Life advice with Sven. You know, so they received a signal, they came here, they heard about, they hit the eye, figured out that it would fucking detonate and kill everyone. And then they threw a guy in a well with a cask of Amontillado. Is that the, you know the one I'm talking about, the, for the love of God, something. Yes, for the love of God. We'll figure out what exactly is going on with that kettle of fish at some point. Now that's a good phrase, kettle of fish. Easily, like, top 10 kettles. Right, looking around... What the fuck am I supposed to find here? You know, like, that's my question. What am I supposed to find here beyond there obviously being more to explore because Plowin says so, but what more is there to explore? What am I supposed to find? If I put it away, does it count as not getting soaked? I really hope so. Though, admittedly, with the water levels, it looks like we can just, walk in. Damn it. Cool, so that does break the lantern. You know, there's the artifact. What does it want us to actually do with the artifact? You know? Trying to figure that out, and I have yet to do so. Which I suppose is a good thing, because if I knew all the answers, this series would be an incredibly boring... Can we watch this twit speedrun an entire game in 22 minutes? We got that. From here to that building. And then might have to quickly duck back and grab a functioning lantern. Insert slide reel. Yep, so... That's the flight system activating, which then puts undue strain on the flywheel. I think I figured out why the death is different. We are getting pushed away from the sun because the autopilot reads that it's getting closer to supernova to the point that it is worth evacuating. And then as a result, you know, some shenanigans happens and we get given the boot by the ATP and all that happens. So, enter the church. So point at that. So ladies and gentlemen, I think we found the use. Which brings forth a whole bunch of questions about everything, but I think we have found the use. So, where is it? We go here, pick up the lantern, pick up the lantern. That drops away the hidden wall. To here. So they got mummified. Interesting. And then we need to essentially complete the circle. Interesting. So, is the reason why they weren't able to do what they needed to because they didn't have the full circle of folk? Or is there some larger aspect behind this? That's the hidden stairwell. So that explains where all of them went. But did they just get mummified in that area because reasons? Or where did I put the focuser? Where did I put her? Might be somewhere else and we have to circle back to this next life. I think that might be the way to go. Go deal with that in the next life. I mean, actually... less than 50% fuel. I'll go refill and we'll head out. But interesting. I know that is a meaningless word at this point, but that's a stasis chamber of some variety. And for one reason or another, they didn't have enough something to get it to do what they want. I'm gonna assume it's people. And they require more people to get the job done. You know, fill the circle. And because they weren't able to fill the circle, that resulted in their essentially slow, maybe agonizing, actually probably not agonizing if they're in that position, but, you know, they slowly withered and died. Then, a few hundred years later, hell, probably a few thousand if I had to guess, some upstart Parthian comes along and then what happens. So the moral of this story, folks, is do not entomb your friends in Iron Maidens, because then you will turn into a mummy. Damn it. Ooh. It's caught on a lip. There we go. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow, lads. Tell me, do you fear death? Blah. I can't do a good impersonation of him, but hold on to your fucking hats, lads. We are going for a ride. I'm half tempted to bail on this expedition. Actually, there's something over there that I want to check out. But bail on this expedition, grab a lantern, and hit the big one. You know? I think we have found a pretty noteworthy discovery of a pretty much completely intact owlfolk skeleton, even if it, you know, obviously is missing some fairly important bits and bobs. Just because of how shit like this rolls. Which is to say, downhill. Interesting. They all entombed themselves. And then stuff happened. I know that is what you can describe the story of pretty much every mummy. You know, they entombed themselves, and then stuff happened. Can we fight the current? Nope. Ah, well. We'll, just have to circle for that one. So that's that. That's a bridge that leads to it. We're trying to use this circumnavigation to get a better sense of the world. I got that. Should be right over here that they've got the artifacts. We can duck off to the side and use that to our advantage. Yep, now we need to make for this break here. Around. And down. That's a question. Does ghost matter exist in aquatic environments? Never thought about that. I was like, what is the... I don't suppose anyone knows, but like, what is the optimal environment for ghost matter to exist and propagate? Right, get to that tower and then flit over and around it. But you know, how does ghost matter come into being? We know that it kills whatever stays in contact with it for an extended period. And by extended, I mean like 60 seconds worth of time. Hell, not even that, like maybe 60 seconds. No, not that, but like, you know, 20 seconds of time and boom, you're kaput. What's the deal there? Now if we go here, ow. So, how do we light these things? Do you guys know that? Also, you got really cool, gonna call it jade. Really cool jade stuff. How do you want me to roast the marshmallow? Or not roast the marshmallow, light the lantern. You guys have any thoughts on this matter, or are you just as in the dark as me? Ha 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 ha. No, you guys probably do well in the dark. Who knows at this point? And if nothing else, we can use this to look at their biology. So, cloven hooves. The sort of like scales that chickens have. Their hands are that weird owl thing where the little digit can essentially invert itself. Funky nails. Rather open nasal passage, though it's not too far different from us. The thing I admit to not be a massive fan of is your teeth. Looks like you got what? Ow. Yeah, you got like normal incisors along the front, but canines and everything else is a bit pointy. Huh. How to light. How to light the artifact. Oh. I don't think I need to worry about lighting the artifact much more. So another thing like that. You know, the wild creatures, and then they've got the root-like horns. I honestly say we hit the next loop. We hit the next loop and then go from there. Very, very interesting. Need to find a way to light the lamp. That's gonna be our major pull at this point. No new discoveries. Up. Over. Lock on, engage autopilot. How to go. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Cool, so we're gonna move before this thing blows up. Please and thank you. I love how just soul-crushingly dark this area is. I'm not a nocturnal photosensitive creature. You do realize. So we can't really see the way you would. And we're going up, up, up. It's our moment. So if we go here... Would love it if we had a way to access the list of places while we're on the move. But 'twas not meant to be, as it seems. So pick up the lantern. Where are we? So that's the that's a structure and thing that we were aware of. Yep. Sure does match with everything we're aware of. We still need to figure out a way into, but that's a separate kettle. If only we could learn what that language fucking said. If only. And down, that shorts that. Yippee fucking kaye. Ow. Up and down. Can we make it through in this state? No. So we will need to do our circumnavigation. Ladies and gentlemen, you can call me Ferdinand Magellan, cause we are gonna fucking navigate this Halo ring. And navigate it, we will, with the fucking best of them. And this time, it won't take, like, damn near 1,000 days, because I'm not a fucking nerd. Though, that does generally propose that I'm a, you know, not a nerd, which does not bode well for our expedition. We'll grab the artifact just because we can. You know, if they ask you, hey, why are you doing this? The correct answer is, why the fuck not? You know? Carpe diem. Carpe, colum. Carpe codex. Ow, 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 ow. So, maybe you, shouldn't try and fucking French kiss the, spooky mist of death. Ever think about that, you, brilliant fucking idiot? You ever think about that? Autopilot. Les roll. Les roll. Up. And hey, we didn't destroy the ship this time. I think that is an improvement. Maybe even a mark improvement. And can you stop painting your walls with fucking Vanta black, you hooing motherfuckers? I'm sorry. I've been trying to keep the profanities to a minimum, but surely you lot are capable of doing that. Ow. Yep, that's the universe. One thing I did notice, and I think I expounded upon it, but let me do that further. In the picture of the original Owlfolk civilization spot, their sun was red. So that might mean that, you know, their universe was dying. They followed the signal because, you know, when in Rome. And then, what? They see that the universe fucking explodes and turns them all to dust and ash. And then, what? They try to crack their neck, but it's not fucking happening. Then from there, they basically entomb themselves. Or they put themselves in a stasis. after... Gonna have to look this one up. Cask of... a month. This is why you don't look at your phone while you drive, kids. Even if it is a boat. Hell, especially if it's a boat. Those things are insanely dangerous. Don't think they're statistically as dangerous as cars, but... you know, that doesn't change much. Where is it? Nope. There is it. Keep it on us for no other reason than because we can. Up and down. Yeah. We'll return to the gorge. The gorge is probably our way to go. Which means we need to navigate all the way over to that side. Brake, and this way... Yep, this way more. Now we follow this fair and square. But right, it is a cast of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. EAP. Funnily enough, I have a crow or a raven plush, I guess would be the, it's a hand puppet. It's a raven hand puppet that I call Edgar, god damn it. All that matters is we get here, because I think we can use a, something to get up higher. Surely there is a, ground entrance point. So here's all the rafts. I don't see any parkour points. Damn it. So we'll have to run that loop again. That's activating. Want to try and time it, figure out when it activates. Come on. Let me get to the boat. We'll circumnavigate again and go from there. What all more is there for us to see there? I also want to read over all the areas again to try and figure out what they are. What locations are there gonna be? Trying to remember, because I am not doing so off the top of my head. And that's annoying. I'd like being able to do things off the top of my head. There's a lot more space than I would like. So I may as well put it to use. You know, this would be so much easier if I had a pole. Like the ferryman on the Thames or Venice, you know, just be able to go like they do in Mary Poppins, you know? It's not Mary Poppins, it's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. You know, the yabba dabba dabba da when I was just a lad, dabba babba babba blah. He tweaked my nose and told me, son, that you are bad. And something, so on, so and forth. Yabba dabba da. Mule bamboo, yabba dabba dabba da, mule bamboo. Something, something, ducker shoe, something, something, old bamboo. Ba-da-ba dabba dabba, yabba dabba dabba. Are you all impressed with my musical theater? Please don't be. Or if you are, thanks. But please do not be impressed. That is my request for you at the moment. My theater is not worth being excited for. Especially because I've got this goddamn crick in my neck that will not go away. Might have to consult the great god Google after this, because I have to stream tonight, and it's... or I get to stream. I don't want to make it sound like, oh, you know, the old ball and chain, she's dragging me about. I do enjoy streaming, I'm just... whinging because of my neck. Everybody could do with a good whinge now and again. Preferably about things they can't fix. Because if you can fix and you whinge about it, but you don't do anything about it, what's the point? Whinge, that's a good word. Whinge, whinge, whinge. I'm smocking this. Turning this into a fucking smock. Smock, 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 smock. Yes, I am a frequenter of Okay Buddy, Rosalind. How do you know? Smock. No, I'm definitely not going insane. Please do not call any mental health officials. They'll only tell you lies. Lies that inconvenience me in enough of a way that I don't want to deal with it. We've been in this building before? Don't think we have. I'll turn the light on first. So it automatically tells us to launch a scout, which is interesting. Snapshot, look around the room, what do we got? Okay, we've got a, thing. Interesting, it automatically takes photos whenever it's within a range. I think I see what I need to do. I see what I need to do. Retrieve the scout. Is that the door down there? And if we run down over to here, God damn it. There we go. Took a bit of trial and error, but we managed to do it. Now if we run over to here, I'll drop the artifact, grab the slide reel, pop up on the table. Now we just need to find a projector. Back to dry land. I don't know what's stable and what isn't here, so rather not risk it. Rather not risk it for the biscuit. For despite what they tell you, there is no biscuit worth being risked. Where have we got? Here we got. Oh hey, we got one of those. Drop it in here. Just need to find a lamp. Which might be a bit of a... First thing we do is we are coming back here next time. First thing we do. No more lollygagging and dicking around. We have to come here, get a lantern, and deal with this. Where the hell is the here we are. Is this another set of people? Yeah, this looks like another group of mummified folk. Interesting. So it's, I'm gonna assume the one with, or just by default, the painting with their home planet on it is the one that will automatically open a door for them. You know, in the words of Dorothy the Witch Slayer, there's no place like home. So, at the bridge it looks like. Flame ignites. Warning about something. Gravity stone or something that malfunctioned? I don't know. Remove slide reel. And then walk down here. We'll just put the completed ones there. Ooh, this looks like it is the final ringed puzzle. Like the Ringed City DLC for Dark Souls 3. So we got them going here. That lights the third chain. So naturally we need to find all of these chains and, you know, break them. I assume at the very least, you know. Why would they show us something being chained and not give us the opportunity to chain it? Or unchain it. Drop there. Okay, this looks like it is about the artifact. So they're here. They reach our planet. So it's after the now mic because the ATP is working. They go here. Put on an image of their home planet. They have a bit of a cry. We get burnt out images. Lots of burnt out images. fire sleeping pods, they all go here. They enter their pods, fall asleep, and they light. Then ladies and gentlemen, I think we might have found ourselves an answer. I'm not sure if we count as an owl or whatever, but if we go in here and doze off, not for long, you see the green flames. Boom. Where did they all go? Where did they all go? So paintings are as normal. Can't turn on my light, so we're just navigating by torchlight. Lovely. God, this is such a cool environment to be looking around. Back in its prime, we got candles, we got all of this stuff. Okay, so I assume that lit it. Can it light? Okay, so it can light candles and shit. Good to know. If we go here... Interesting, I don't have a spacesuit, so I can't leap about. Just light everything up as we go. And the bridge appeared. This bridge was not here before. I guarantee you that. The bridge was not there beforehand. So there's an instrument. What the fuck is that? Looking around, what do we got? Could you guys not randomly start screaming? I think that's terribly rude and unkind to whatever guests you have. So, lots of, like, I'll just call them, to me they look like a more modern, for lack of a better term, version of like the horsehair fiddles that I saw in Mongolia. Really cool. Part of how they work, from my understanding, is that instead of like a normal violin or something like that, cello, a stringed instrument where you push, if this is the string and this is the fretboard, you press it down. I think you press it like out and up, which is really interesting to my mind. Are you lads not gonna play for us? fair enough. Wouldn't want to force you to do anything you don't want to. Such a neat area. And that's their home moon. Or their home planet? No, they're on... That shape is always in the air with them, so that would make it their, home moon, I guess. Well, I think we have figured out our first thing to do. We have figured out the secret of the lamp, and need to meander about. Interesting. Also, what the hell was that, screech? Wake up. Something, catch up. Does this have anything for us? Okay, hole breach. Slide in the hidden gorge, explosion, side of the strange. We'll have to check that out. Burn slide, congregated strange green fires. Yep, burned, can't see him. Glowing symbols, vault closed, sealed with chains. So those are the towers we have to check. Now let's take a look at... No, I just said that we'd be dealing with something post-haste. We have found something that can be checked on from the outside, the hole breach. What's the issue with that? Yeah, we'll have to fly around it. Hole breach. That's probably gonna be what, at the south end, or directions like that hold no meaning here, but you get what I'm saying. Cool, we have landed. Grab that. Here we are. Yeah, lock on. What has this got for us? Nope. I need to get... Ow! To this point. Is this where the breach is? And pause. That opens. Not where I wanted to go. Well, we'll have to check on that later. But for now, we shall go over here. So, I wonder if the lantern puts them in like a sort of stasis-like dream state for their space journey. You know, like a cryo sleep. And then they get woken up when they need to be, and finish out the journey. Maybe. We'll double check when we get to, where is it? That, actually, there's one here. Let's check out this tower. We go here, look for the one with their home planet. Which one has their home planet? That one. Set it down. Grab this. Drop. Grab that. Drop. Yep, we hear it open. We grab the artifact. We hop in. Head down and then try and figure out what the fucking deal is. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11, 33, 32. So we've got 32 people in these stasis chambers, assuming they're all filled up. But we know that there is the one extra chamber in the other area. Hop in here, walk outside. What do we got? Some candles to light. Glorious. God, no, but this is an absolutely beautiful area. I can see why you would want to emulate this if you're out and about traveling through space and all that. Nothing special there. What was the construction method for their Halo? Because obviously advanced, but like, did they terraform it to look exactly like how their planet, or a section of their planet? How did they decide, you know, which section of the planet to terraform it to? And what happened to their home planet? Because it definitely looked like it got supernovaed like ours is in, you know, like 23 minutes or whatever. So many questions and hopefully so many answers. I trust this game enough to give me the answers I require. I trust you, lads. If my throat's feeling a bit rough right now, I should probably complete this loop and then call it here. Because I need, like I said, I'm streaming tonight, so... Okay, so yeah, we'll doze off again. There's that. How much holdover is there from our last dream? Basically, do I need to relight the candles? Looks like the answer is no. Ooh. Okay, I was gonna ask for a moment, are those saguaro cactuses? Like, I appreciate a good bit of saguaro decoration, but like, would these folk really have saguaro? You know, not to question too much, but would they? So yeah, I guess I am questioning. Would these folks have saguaro cactus? Or know what they are? Or even care about them enough to... Are we using rules of quantum bullshit here? I think we might be using rules of quantum bullshit. Because... Yes, we are. Oh boy, we have just figured it out. Or at least part of it. So again, if we go over here... That'll attract it to us. So that summons it into existence. And then we have to step onto it. If we just keep going, don't have a lot of control, so it'll take us where we need to go. Damn it. Oh, we've made big discoveries here, folks. We are going to blow this case wide open. And all we need is to not be blithering idiots, and we'll be fine. And to cut my mustache. It's getting in my mouth. But you guys don't come here to hear about my desire to cut my mustache. Or at least I hope you don't. That's really concerning. Like, I'm flattered, but I don't think it's really that noteworthy. Again, got the noise in the background. Go here. Okay, so that just removes them from existence. We're dealing with quantum bullshitting. Or at least, what I will equate to quantum bullshitting. If I blow out these candles... Experimentation is necessary for science. And sometimes that experimentation will leave us underwater. Interesting. Interesting. So, I definitely feel like we have filled in a few large question marks. Obviously, we got a whole bunch more that we need to sort through, but by and large, I think we've figured it out. And that tower is relatively fine, so let's check this one out. Go over here, float up to the surface, and at least check it out, you know, see how the asparagus is getting sauteed, if you will. Down over here, complain about my mustache hairs again. Doze off. Wonder what the overall goal of these is, you know? Like, obviously we're being sent here to do something. What is it? So we got that stuff over there. You know, we're... Funky noise in the background. Beautiful blue flowers. Like, what all's the end point for us? If we look over there, there's probably going to be some way for us to break through that. Yeah, because we've got that thing. If we blow it out, that'll let us through the doors. Okay. This is a, this is an order of quantum bullshit above what I am anticipating to deal with. Gonna assume these are weapons. You know, he just summoned a whole ass thing into existence. Or I make it sound like, you know, a single person did this. It's not, it's just whatever scientific marvel that is. So the whole thing here, I mean, we kind of already figured this out, but whole thing in this area is playing with lights, light sources, shadows. Everything involved with that. What do we got? Nothing. Interesting. Now just trying to figure out what design style this reminds me of. Would be fascinated to learn like what cultures and everything was used as inspiration points for stuff, you know? So that wasn't here before. We get to the top and look around. That's the underwater vault. That's connected over there. That's one of those over there. Another tower, another tower. Is this like for life support systems? Is it something beyond that? What's the fish here? What's the catch? Also, what's with the constant creepy noise just outside of our field of vision? This is... So... very interesting. Now if we go this way... For a moment I thought I was hearing footsteps. Okay, no, we're hearing footsteps. That's brilliant. Okay, cool. So those weren't footsteps. That was just the sound of the building collapsing. Not sure I like that any more than footsteps. Interesting. Yeah, we'll end it with this loop. Is there a way to get a good view of it? Just hopscotch our way over. Nope, apparently not. But, you know, we've got time. We've got time to work with and a life to live. And possibly a universe to let die? Question mark? Definitely feel that the overall themes of the game are like, you know, memento mori and all that, you know. Remember that you must die. Yeah, so gonna pause it here and do a manual quit out. But hope you all are having a good one. I certainly am, and will be really interested to see what all we discover next, because this one was, God, it'll be like a 2-hour based recording. But really interesting. You all know the drill, you know, stuff down below, do with it as you see fit, and see ya in the next one with whatever happens.